So remember, we started working on simulation. All right. And we were doing some specific question. Is there somebody who can remind us the question that we're doing? Is there anybody who can remind us the question that we were doing? What is the question that we were doing? Is there somebody who can remind us which question were we doing? November 2018, isn't it? So we're doing November 2018, question number 2B. November 2018, question number 2B. November 2018, question number 2B. Question number 2B. November 2018, question number 2B. Yes. November 2018, question number 2B, Galanema Limited. Galanema Limited. Galanema Limited. Galanema Limited. So the most important thing that you're supposed to remember here, so we have here November 2018, question number 2B. Question number 2B. So what are we supposed to remember? What are we supposed to remember here regarding this consolidation? I mean, not consolidation, but simulation. First of all, to simulate is to imitate reality. So for learning purposes, many times we are forced to simulate, to imitate reality. And I gave you very good examples. So for example, if you went to a driving school today, there is no way you will go to the road day one, not unless it's a fake school. Not unless it's a fake school. You will be forced, first of all, to go to a dummy roundabout. They'll give you a table, a roundabout on the table like this, a roundabout on the table like this, and then they'll give you a dummy vehicle like a toy. They tell you move this toy and park it somewhere here. Move this toy and park it somewhere here. So of course, at first, because you are very inexperienced, you may even lift up this toy, directly put it here, or you go the wrong way. And then they'll tell you, hey, no, it doesn't operate like that. So in short, we have to keep on trying. We keep on, in this case here, trying things many times until we learn them through imitations. If you're a pilot and you went to a good pilot school, there is no way these guys here will take you to the air like that directly. They'll take you, in this case here, to some kind of a room like this one, which has got, in this case here, a fake aircraft engine. And then you start from there learning parts, learning like what happens when you are up there. Using the same model in business, we shall also be doing fake imitations here until we learn, until we get to see like when we change, if it's RCM, if we change our price from this amount to this amount, what effect will it have on our profits? What effect? So basically simulation analysis is a what if analysis. As random numbers change, of course, we expect in this case here, parameters to change. When they change, of course, then we have to look at what happens to our net present value. So keep on putting in new parameters, putting in new numbers, and then you observe what happens to our net present value. What happens to our net present value? So then what are we required to remember? As somebody has suggested there, that we give them some kind of a small background. So in this case here, whenever it comes to simulation analysis, we must know how to ascertain what we call the random number ranges. Random number ranges. So random number ranges, for example, if somebody gives you like say X in this case here could be price, which could be either 20 or say 30. And then they go ahead to give you probabilities of say 0.4 and 0.6 like that. And then you are required here to give us the random number classes or ranges. Random number classes or ranges. Very easy. Step number one, give us cumulative probabilities. Step number one, you accumulate. Give us cumulative probabilities. So cumulatively, we are adding downwards. The first one, of course, is 0.4. 0.4 plus 0.6 gives me what here? Gives me 1.0. All right, because I've started with 0.4 here. And then down, I add this 0.6. It'll give me 1. But you see, I can't write 1 exactly. I have to write 1.0 because remember, in simulation, consistency in terms of decimal places is very, very important. We must be very consistent. We must be very consistent with the decimal places. If you begin here with 1 decimal place, all the other values here must have 1 decimal place. So instead of saying just 1, we say 1.0. Then from here, I'll be able to pull the random number ranges. From here, I'll be able to pull the random number ranges. So remember the ranges. If this is 1 decimal place, so you're going to have 1 digit starting from 0. If this is 1 decimal place, we shall have 1 digit starting from 0. What if you had, for example, 0.45? If there are 2 decimal places, so you start from 00. You start from 00. 2 digits. 2 digits. You'll be able to understand this as we get along. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we shall use single digits in our ranges because of the single decimal place. 1 decimal place, 1 digit. So 0 all the way to the upper limit. How do we get this upper limit? To get the upper limit, you take, in this case here, the number that you have here, you subtract 1. You take the number that you have here as if it's a whole number. As if it's a whole number, then you take away 1. So this is 4. So when I say 4 minus 1, I will get 3. I got the next class. The next class, I will start from the next number after 3. The next number after 3 is 4. So here I will start from 4. Next number after 3 on the number line is 4. So 4 all the way to, this will be read as 10. 10 minus 1, this gives me 9. This gives me 9. Please, let's try this. Let's try this ourselves. Let's try this ourselves. So for example, we have here y, which could either be 5, 6, or 7. 5, 6, or 7. And then they have given us probabilities. So probabilities, we have 0.20, 0.30, then we have 0.50. Who is able to try this very fast? Your role is to give me these random number ranges using the Monte Carlo. It's called the Monte Carlo system. You may get an examiner asking you to use Monte Carlo. So it should not scare you. It should not scare you. Monte Carlo system of random number ranges. System of random number ranges. So y could be any variable, you know. Y could be any variable. Great, thank you so much. So then the very first thing we need to come and do here is to provide what we call the cumulative probability. So come here and give us the cumulative probabilities. So we have 0.20. So this gives us 0.50. This will give us, first of all, you have to get this cumulative. So these will give us 1.00. So first of all, up to there, are we together? Up to here, I can see so many ninjas have been able to even finish. Up to here, are we together somehow? How I'm getting those cumulatives downwards? Great. Then from there, we should be able then to come up with what you guys have. I should be able to come and do the last column, which is the column of random number ranges, column of random number ranges. So you're right. These are 2 decimal places. I can't ignore this 0 and say that it is insignificant. No, I can't do that. So in this case, the random number ranges. So we have here 00 all the way to 20 minus 1. 20 minus 1 gives me 19. 19. So the next class will start from the number that comes immediately after 19. That number is 20. So 20 all the way to 50 minus 1, which gives me 49. Then we have 50 all the way to what here? This is 100. 100 minus 1, that gives me, so you are right. So then, ladies and gentlemen, I will not do part A of this question because I've done part A in my last class. I would want to go straight away to part 2 of Roman B, part 2 of Roman B, where they want me, part 2 of Roman B, where they want me, ladies and gentlemen, to do what here? To simulate. To simulate. So the first thing that I should do, is there, so 20 to 40, 20 to 19, and then 0 to 19, 20 to 49, 50 to 99. I think this is okay. Great. This is okay. This is okay. I can see guys making, yeah, great. This is okay, yes. So then I'm going straight away to Roman 2 of this question. That is Roman 2, where they want me to simulate. Where they want me to do what here? To simulate. So then what am I going to do to be able to simulate here? What shall I do to be able to simulate? What shall I do to be able to simulate? All right. The very first step is to identify probabilistic variables. There is no way you'll be able to do simulation without probabilistic variables. So as this examiner given me probabilistic variables, yes, 3 of them. I can see them here. unit selling price. So I'll write them down. So the first one is the selling price. So the selling price has three possibilities. It could either be 35, 30, or 50 with the following probabilities. The probabilities are given there. So we have here 0.30, 0.30, we have 0.40, then we have here 0.30 again. Remember, the probabilities must always add up to 1. They must always add up to 1. So that is the first variable. Then I have another variable called variable cost. So we have here VC, variable cost, which could either be 15, 10, or 25. 15, 10, or 25 with the following probabilities. So I can see the second column there, 0.20, we have 0.50, we have 0.30, 0.30. After that, we have volume. That volume is not supposed to be in shillings. That was a mistake. Volume, of course, those are units. So we have 4, 7, and 9. 4, 7, and 9 with these probabilities. So the probabilities are given here. We have 0.10, 0.10, we have 0.60, we have lastly 0.30. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once I get to identify the probabilistic variables, the next thing will be for me to find the cumulatives. So go ahead very fast and give me the cumulatives. So give me the cumulative probability. Give me the cumulative probability. So cumulative probability, we are accumulating this downwards. So 0.30, this plus this. 0.70, this plus this. So it will be 1.00. Remember, the variables are supposed to be very independent. So once I finish accumulating the probabilities of the first variable, the second variable, I must start from scratch. I start from scratch. So this will be 0.20. This will be 0.70. I mean, you add, you lump this together with the others. So 1.00. Then we have here cumulative probabilities. What do we have here? 0.10. So this gives me 0.70. This gives me 1.00. From here, I will now be able to pull the random number ranges. I will be able to pull the random number ranges. So random number ranges, what do I have here? These are 2 decimal places. If there are 2 decimal places, so we shall start with our 2, of course, it must always start from 00. If there are 2 decimal places, 2 digits. So 00 all the way to 30 minus 1. 30 minus 1, this gives me 29. Next class begins from the next number after this, which is 30. 30 all the way to 70 minus 1, that gives me 69. Then we have here 70 all the way to 99. So we have here 00 to 19. Next class is 20 to 69. Next we have 70 to 99. Then we have here 00 to what? Can somebody give me this upper limit for this? Can you kindly give me the upper limit for this? Remember, to get the upper limit, you take the value which is here as if it's a whole number, you take away 1. You take away 1. It's 9, but you can't write 9 alone. So it will be 09. It will be 09. So from there we have 10. 10 all the way to 70 minus 1, which gives me 69. Then we have here 70 into what here? Into 99. 70 into 99. So up to there, ladies and gentlemen, are we together? Yeah, today, at least today, you are really talking to me. Linda, you're right, but it can't be 1 digit, Linda. It can't be 1 digit, Linda. All right. Now from there, you know, very many students who are not able to get this question correctly in this sitting. It was quite a simple question, but as usual, students are always students, and I think you can't really blame them. I think it's because of the examination pressure, which increases or decreases. Yeah, that examination pressure times in this case, it may not be very nice because this was a simple question, but so many guys were not able to interpret it very well. Now, remember, in our last class, we had the computer depreciation, which we have to compute again for the sake of the students who are joining us here today, who aren't there in our yesterday's class. So you see here in this question, if you look at additional information, note 3, they have told us, in this case here, the corporation tax rate is 30%. Whenever you are a student of finance, and you and I are at the same level, all of us are now finance experts. You can't tell me that Mwalimu Miyama, a young ninja, in terms of finance, all of us are at the same level. Now we need to be talking the same language. Whenever you see tax, what should always come to your mind as a finance scholar? Whenever you see taxation be given a question, what should you always think about? Depreciation, you're right. Depreciation. So then here, I'll have to compute depreciation, which in this question, we are told that it is computed on a straight line basis. It's computed on a straight line basis. So somebody wants the question shared there. The question, Linda is asking for the question. It's November. It's November. Somebody should be able to help this great lady. November 2018. November 2018. Question number 2. Question number 2. B Roman 2. So depreciation, they have told us here that depreciation is, if you look at paragraph number 2, the firm's policy is to depreciate all of its fixed assets on a straight line basis. Straight line basis. So we will take here the cost of the machine minus, in this case here, the scrap value or residual value, scrap value, all over NOE, all over number of years. So as this examiner given us the cost, cost of this machine. Yeah, 280. And please don't let me down in this exam. If you're told that it cost us, for example, 280 to procure this machine from Japan, and then we airlifted it, maybe in another 100 in terms of thousands. So airlifting it to Kenya like that. And then on our premises here, we were able to incur some installation costs. Let me ask you a question here. So we have here the purchase cost. Purchase cost, this is just but an example, is 280. Then we have airlifting. Airlifting cost from Japan to Kenya, 100. We have here insurance on transit. Insurance on transit, perhaps 50. Then we have installation cost. Installation cost. So ladies and gentlemen, please, without mincing my words, all these expenses that are incurred to bring the asset to functioning, will always be capitalized. Always will be capitalized. Because without, for example, this expense, this machine cannot be in our factories at industrial area in Nairobi functioning. Without installation, there is no way that machine will be functioning. So in that case here, the cost that should go to depreciation here will be the total of these. Include all. If you forget any Stanley in this exam, which is coming by, please don't call me. Don't call me. You know, so many guys will always call me after exam that Mwalimu, come, we take some soup here. There are guys who know where the very best soup is prepared in Nairobi. And then they'll tell me always that this exam was very good. But when results come, they come like this because they forget simple things. So here, of course, these ones are not given in this question. So this cost is 280. Have they given me the scrap value? Incidental cost, you add. No scrap value. Salvage value will be 0. Thank you very much. 0. How many years do we have for this machine? So we have here 5. So 280 divided by 5 will end up giving me what here, somebody? 56, right? 56, I'm being told. 56 per annum. Thank you very much. So once you get this depreciation, what do you think will be the next thing for us to calculate here? You're right. You give us the depreciation tax sheet. These are 3 months. Go ahead and give us depreciation tax shield. Which will be 56. Rate of tax is 30%. This time round, we'll tell you the rate of tax is 28%. Anytime we change a rate of tax to whichever percentage, we always catch a few students because there are students who can't think of tax being anything other than 30%. So anytime they see tax, they only use 30% and then they collapse. So depreciation tax shield, it will be 56 times 0.3. What figure do we have there? 16.8. Now, please, my students, listen. I would want you to be using these shortcuts, especially whenever you're handling simulation questions here. This is just but an illustration. So if you are given here, for example, PBDT is 10, then you are given depreciation of, say, 6, then they give you tax rate, 30%. Can you kindly give me the cash flow here in this arrangement? Kindly give me the cash flow here. This is not part of the question. This is not part of your question. It's just an illustration to help everybody to be onboarded, so that everybody can be onboarded. Everybody can come to understand the question. 11.8. 11.8. I'm being given a figure of 11.8. 11.8. In this case, it will be 11.8. Is there anybody else who can confirm that 11.8 is the correct thing here? It's only Stanley got 11.8, so I doubt. Not that I'm... Muleria said no. Limo is saying 11.8. So remember, there are so many methods. I gave you a pro forma. Where we said you should take profit before depreciation and tax, like this. All right. And then very fast you less tax. And then you come and add the DTS. I gave you this formula. For you to get the cash flow. I gave you this formula. So like in this case here, the PBDT is 10. Then tax will be 30% of this 10. So tax will be 30%. Tax will be 30% of this 10, which gives me 3. It's a deductible. And then depreciation tax shield, you take the depreciation itself, which is 6, you multiply with the rate of tax, 30%. So that will end up giving me what figure? Because depreciation tax shield, you take the depreciation times 30%. So that gives me 1.8. Remember, the depreciation tax shield is always added. Depreciation tax shield is always added. Yeah, I can see my followers on TikTok. They are very happy, but I've never gotten any gift on TikTok. You guys need to send me a lion. No, I'm joking. No. We shall overcome. So what are we getting here? 8.8, 8.8, right? Yvonne, you need to send me a lion, isn't it? 8.8. I don't want you to be using this method. This method, especially for simulation, it will really take you a lot of time. It will consume a lot of your time. You can get this cash flow directly. You simply come and take this PBDT, you deduct tax, and then you add the depreciation tax shield. So in this case here, we have here 10 times 1 minus 0.3. 10 times 1 minus 0.3. 1 minus tax. 30% is 0.3. Plus the depreciation tax shield, which will be depreciation itself, which is 6. So many guys, I'm so sure even the guys who got 11.8, they forgot to multiply this. So many guys forgot to multiply. Great. They forgot to multiply. I know they added depreciation directly. I'm 100% sure. It's good this ninja is confirming. So what are we getting here? As cash flow? Are we going to get that 8.8? Thank you so much. Great. Now, so then I'm through with this step. So I know that the next step then will be the last step actually. The last step actually will be for me to come and provide what we call a simulation worksheet. So give us a simulation worksheet. Give us a simulation worksheet. How many runs do they want us to do here? Has the examiner specified the number of runs? You know, most of the times they'll tell you do 10 runs. Most of the times they'll tell you to do 10 runs. Has he said we do 10 runs, or is he silent about it? Or if you, yeah, then you're right. If he's silent, what do? You do runs which will exhaust all the random numbers. You do runs that will exhaust all the random numbers. So then somebody has been able to count here. So remember, we have the run number. Run number. All right, somebody has been able to count them. So there'll be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. So remember, for each of these runs, what are we not sure of? What are we not sure of? What would you want to guess? What would want to guess are these numbers which you have under your ranges there. We do not know what the selling price will be. We don't know what the selling price will be. So I don't know what the selling price will be. I don't know what the variable cost will be. I don't know what the volume will be. So we must guess them. And how do we guess them? You pick a random number given by the examiner to enable you predict the first item, selling price. Selling price. Then you come and pick the next random number to enable you pick the second item, which is the VC, variable cost. Then you pick the next random number given there for you to be, each of these metrics must be predicted. Each of these metrics must be predicted, each of these, the three of them. And you predict them using random numbers given by the examiner. Random number to give me the volume like that. To give me the volume like that. And then I would expect only 2 columns after this. I would expect you to give me the PBDT and the cash flow, 2 only. PBDT and the cash flow before the NPV. My board is not very, very good, but we shall overcome. So give me the PBDT and the cash flow, So then we start picking these random numbers. What is the first item on the table? The first item on the table is run number, run number, which could be a trial number, etc. So then we start picking these random numbers here. Are you able to see the random numbers? Is there somebody who is able to see the random numbers? Oh, yeah. Are you able to see the random numbers? The random numbers? Yes, I can see them. How many digits of these random numbers am I going to pick? How many digits shall I pick? I shall be picking 2 at a time. 2, yes, because you can see these are 2 digits. So 2. And the NJ has been able to pick the first ones for me. I need 3 of them. I need 1 here, another one here, another one here. 3 of them. And I'm picking 2 digits. So the first one will be 80, 2 at a time. The second one there is 25 for this one. And then now we have, in this case here, 60. You should be able to write all of them in the entire body. Don't do any calculations first. Write all of them. So I go to the second set. The second set, what do I have there? Second set, what do I have there? 63, 83, 51. 63, 83, 83, and then we have 51 like that. You guys will be able to finish for me, but look at this. Let's look at this, all of us. Let's look at this. Actually, I'm not even going to do all the 10 in this class. For me, for demonstration, if I only do 2, those are good enough because normally I have very good students here. So let's see here. In a price, when the random number is 80, in price, in this is a price set. So 80, where is 80? 80 is here. What price does this correspond to? 80 in price, 80 falls here. Because the first one is 80, it falls here. So this gives me what price of what here? A price of 50. How about in the variable cost set, random number 25? Random number 25 in the variable cost. Random number 25, is there somebody who is able to see the variable cost estimated? So 25 will be somewhere here. So in this case here, we are seeing how much here? We are seeing 10. Thank you very much. How about random number 60 in volume? Random number 60 in volume. So in the volume, random number 60 is here. Second one, which is what here? Which is 7. So can you kindly do me a favor? Are you guys able to give me the PBDT here? Are you guys able to give me the PBDT there? Profit before depreciation and tax. Is there anybody who is able to give me this PBDT? If this is what is going to happen, remember our PBDT, which is our profit from cost volume profit analysis, our profit will be price minus variable cost multiplied by number of units minus fixed cost. Are you able to remember this formula? Is there anybody who is able to remember this formula? Is there anybody who is able to remember this formula? Eric is lost. Eric, what is making you become lost here? This is a very straightforward thing. You did it even in QA. You did this even in QA. What is making you get lost? Have you been able to see how we identified these random numbers? You did this thing in QA. Have you been able to see how we got these random numbers? At times we get lost because we fear things. Random numbers are given on the question paper. On the question paper, if you look at the question paper, Roman 2 down there, are you able to see the random numbers? Roman 2 down, given in brackets. He may not be the only one. Okay, then I would have started by asking Eric whether you have the past paper. So then that's very good. Are you able to see the first number given there, big one, 80, 25, 60? 80, 25, 60. The first big number given there, 80, 25, 60. Ah, great. Then what you do, you see here, we have how many digits? 2 digits. We have what we call 2 digits here, 2 digits here. So then you're going to pick 2 at a time. That 80 is here, the first 2 digits, 80. 25 is here for the variable cost. And then we have 60 for the volume, 60 for the volume. So I don't know whether you have been able to see now how we have taken these 2 digits because 2 digits here. So we have here 80, 25, and then lastly we have 60. Have you been able now to see how we were able to get these figures here? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Not hard at all. So remember, there are 2 digits. You're picking 2 digits at a time. Or somebody else is also confused there. All right. All right. So in this case here, what do we have here? So random number, the first one here is 80. So 80 gives me what price in this case here? First of all, I finish with Eric. 80 price. This is the price table. Where is 80? 80 is here. 80 is here. Because of 70 and 99. 80 is here. So if it is here, it is the third class. So the third class price is 50. That's how you estimate the price of 50. Then you come to the next random number, which is 25. And this is at the variable cost. So in this case here, where is 25? Where is 25? Where is 25? Where is 25? 25 is here, and the variable cost, remember. 25 is here, and the variable cost, remember, which will give me a price of what here? A price of 10. And then, of course, you come and do the last one. So we have here 60 and the volume. So 60 and the volume, where is 60? 60 is here, 60 is here, 60 is here. So 60 will end up giving me what here? Will end up giving me 7. So Eric, first of all, I want to get you out of my way in a good way. Have you been able to follow? So Eric, now we are together. Then we have Maria. Maria, what is the problem? Is the entire table the problem, Maria? Or is it first of all, we start with the run number. The runs, I'll be able to tell you why they are going to 10. So that should not scare you at all. Oh, you've already also understood. Great. So anybody else who has a question, please ask questions. Great. So then if you guys have understood, now let's do run 2 together. Before I even go to these profits, let's do run 2 together. So Maria and Eric, if you're able to help Mwalimu, when the random number is 63, nobody should assist them. If you assist them, I penalize you. Nobody should assist them for us to be able to see where they are following. So for price, Eric and Maria, when the random number here is 63, what price am I going to put here? What price am I going to put there? Maria and Eric, who are these who are not following simple instructions here? It's Linda, not following simple instructions. So we have here 63. Thank you very much. In price, 63 is here. 63 is here, which will give me a price of 30. Eric, you never give me a number. Eric, how about in this case here, random number 83 and a variable cost? I can see you came through. But now I still have to test you, Eric. 83 What is the variable cost associated there? Sorry for being a bit tough. That is the way to learn. Thank you, Tobias. People should learn to follow instructions. Thank you, Eric. So 83 variable cost. 83 is here. 83 is here, which gives me a variable cost of 25. Now the floor is open for all of us. When we have random number of 51, volume, how much? For volume, how much? For volume, volume 51. Volume 51 is here. So this will give me what here? This will give me, is it 9 really? Where are you getting 9 from, NJ? NJ, 51. 51 is not here. 51 is here. 10 to 69. So if it is here, I pick 7. I pick 7 like that. So now, ladies and gentlemen, all of us, no problem, it happens. All of us now, are we all of us together up to here? Be very honest. Are we together, all of us up to here? All right. It's only 2 students who are, okay, great. So then let's come back here. Then we're getting profits. This is a management accounting formula that profit equals total contribution minus fixed cost. And how do we get total contribution? First of all, you have to give me contribution per unit. You take the selling price, you subtract variable cost. Whatever you get, you multiply with the number of units here minus fixed cost. Let's see how this will be applied. Let's look at run number 1. So run number 1, what is the price? This is the P. This is the V. Volume is X. So the price here is 50. The price is 50 minus the V. V, which is what here? 10. Multiply by the quantity. Quantity is 7. Quantity is 7. Minus fixed cost. Are you able to see the fixed cost? Is there somebody who is able to see the fixed cost in this question? Anybody who is able to see the fixed cost in this question? It's given there. There is a place they gave us fixed cost under additional information 1. Under additional information 1, they gave us, how do I get this after this? Eric, I'll upload this somewhere. You'll be able to get this. I'll upload it. Sorry for missing this very, very important class. So we have here fixed cost, excluding depreciation is 30. So minus 30. So then are you able to give me this answer here? PBDT, profit before depreciation and tax. 250, right? Thank you so much. 250. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for a present, I would want to give a present this morning. Is there somebody who can give me the cash flow for run number 1? When we have that PBDT, who can give me the cash flow for run number 1? Cash flow for run number 1. Cash flow. Try now your luck here. Cash flow for run number 1. Cash flow for run number 1. According to Muleri, 191.8. According to my friend Linda, 266.8. Linda, it seems you are off the mark here. Linda amefanya ile kitu. Wanasema amefanya ile kitu. Linda amefanya ile kitu. Najua ile kitu amefanya ni gani? Yeye ame-add depreciation direct. Linda, mimi najua umefanya ile kitu. Umefanya ile kitu. Sababu inafaa ikuwe hivi, cash flow, inafaa ikuwe cash flow equals PBDT into 1 minus tax plus DTS. So the PBDT is 250, 1 minus tax is 0.7, and the DTS is 16.8. Are you able to remember this depreciation tax shield? I'm so sure that is where, Linda, you went wrong. I'm 100% sure. And I mean, so many guys normally forget. Yeah, thank you so much. So this 191.8 is correct. 191.8 is correct. 191.8 is correct. 191.8 is correct. You can try to twist the camera a little bit for them to see that figure there. All right, thank you so much. All right. So can you kindly try now these two for me? Give me the PBDT here and the cash flow. Give me the PBDT here and the cash flow for run 2. For run 2. For run 2, you're giving me the PBDT and the cash flow. PBDT, always think about the management accounting formula. Profit equals P minus V. According to NJ, it is 5. Tobias bwana. Oi, hiyo ni kubwa sana. Tobias ni makosa gani umefanya jamii? Hiyo ni kubwa sana. Hiyo ni kubwa sana. Hebu turudi hapa nyuma hapo kwa profit kwanza, Tobias, tuone makosa ni gani. Ama umesubtract wewe, ama umesubtract random number wewe. Sababu hii ya pili price ni ngapi? Price ni 30. Hii ya pili price ni 30. Minus variable cost ni ngapi? Variable cost in 25. Variable cost in 25. Multiplied by quantity, which is X. Quantity volume. Quantity, which is X. So 7. Minus fixed cost does not change. Fixed cost will always remain the same. It's not even in the range here. Yeah. This guy is very, very honest. He used random number. I normally see those things every day coming from bright students, even in exams. It's good you are encountering them here so that in the future you will not be able to make any confusion there. So minus the fixed cost is 30. So this one is going to give us what figure as our PBDT? This one will be giving us what figure as our PBDT? As our PBDT, what do we have here? Could you kindly give me a figure here as our PBDT? It will come to 5 now. So the PBDT is 5. The PBDT is 5. Then once I get PBDT as 5, getting cash flow will never be a problem. Getting cash flow will never be a problem. Getting cash flow will never be my problem. Getting cash flow will never be my problem. Getting cash flow will never be my problem. So the cash flow, I'll take the PBDT multiplied by 1 minus tax plus the DTS. So it will be 5 times 0.7. DTS, I remember it was 16.8, which will end up giving us what figure? Cash flow I'm being given 20.3. 20.3. Now, can you kindly do me a favor? I don't want to do like the whole question. I would want somebody now to make the entries of 3. You make all of them to the level where you give me PBDT and the cash flow. Give me all of them now. You are the ninjas here. Mnasema ni OG. You are the OG now. Pass the entries for Roman 3, for number 3. Pass the entries for number 3. Pass the entries for number 3. NJ is the OG. So now between NJ and Muleri, I don't know who's telling me the truth. Muleri has gotten the cash flow, but I doubt because there is a figure that is wrong. Oh. Cash flow, I'm being told cash flow is 44.8. I'm being told cash flow is 44.8. 44.8. I'm being told cash flow is 44.8. So can I assume that everybody has gotten number 3, everything correct? Or do you want Mwalimu to do it? Can I make an assumption that everybody has that 44.8? Or would you want Mwalimu to do this as the last one? Would you want Mwalimu to do this as the last one? Or are we comfortable? Please, I want us to be very comfortable. I do it. Okay, I do it. But we agree. Robinson. No. Robinson, I think Robinson, you are in the wrong class. Robinson, you are in the wrong class, and this can really confuse you. Robinson, I know I normally teach you in FM, and this is advanced FM. And not unless I've confused, not unless these are different Robinson. Not unless these are different Robinson. Is it a different Robinson? Are you supposed to be doing AFM? Yeah, then exactly. Yeah, you see now I remember you, Robinson. What I would yeah, because this really is way high. Yeah, this is way high. But I would not want to chase you away. Feel free to remain behind. But it will really make you hate FM, which is very wrong. You know, FM down there, we normally do simple things which normally should be able to excite you. This one is way above your level. You're punching too heavy. You're punching too heavy. Not unless you want to die very early. But I'll still repeat. And you're not the only one. I'm also seeing somebody here. I'm also seeing some 2-3 people. I think the link was shared in a wrong class. Tell your classmates that this is not their class. If you're here and you're doing FM, I would really request that you remain behind, of course, at your own discretion, but I mean, no. So we start by passing the random numbers. So the random numbers, are you able to see the third set? Are you able to see the third? Yeah, you can watch here, feel free. Yeah. So the third set that we have here is 05. The third set that we have here is 05. The third set we have here is 05, 05, 75, 75, 75. Yeah, these numbers are very small. Coupled with the light, the light in the studio is very bright. Can't see this very well. But I hope I've been able to take them correctly. 05, 75, and then 30. All right. So now once I have the random numbers, then I should be able to use them to predict the uncertain variables, to predict the variables here that are probabilistic. They're called stochastic variables. So I start with 05. Where is 05? 05 is here. 05 is here. It gives me a price of 35. 75 under variable cost, 75 is here. 75 is here. So this gives me 25. Then we have 30 in volume. So 30 in volume is here, which gives me still 7, So then I'll come and get my profit here, which is price 35 minus, in this case here, variable cost, which is 25. And then whatever I get, I multiply with x, which is quantity, which is 7, minus our fixed cost is the same. So will this one here give us 40? Is it 40? Will this give us 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 40? Will it give us 40? Yeah, already I can see. Yeah, thank you so much. Then after that, then we have here our cash flow. Cash flow will be 40 times 0.7 plus our DTS. I hope you're able to remember the formula of cash flow. You take the PBDT, cash flow. Remember cash flow formula. We take the PBDT into 1 minus tax plus depreciation tax shield. So this will give me 44.8. 44.8. So I believe now, Joy, and the rest, now you are comfortable. I believe now, Joy, and the rest, you're comfortable. I believe you're comfortable. All right. So simulate the net present value using the following random numbers. So I would want then someone to go ahead and give me the cash flow, the NPV. I'm supposed to introduce a new column here. The very last one called net present value. So my net present value, I will take in this case here the first cash flow, which is 191.8 times. Let me ask you a question. Am I going to use PVIF here or PVFA in this question? When I'm discounting, am I going to use PVIF or PVFA? Which one am I going to use? And I think because you're standing there, I'm the only person who is supposed to be working while standing, but we need to get, in this case, some equipment. Maybe we would say bye-bye to our TikTok people, but most importantly, they share this and they tell the whole world that this is the best teacher in East Africa. Thank you so much. Bye. No, those are TikTok students. You guys, we are still on with our class, right? We are still on with our class. So do we use PVFA or PVIF? I can see so many guys who have decided to remain silent because they don't want to guess wrongly, which is very bad. You should be able to make as many mistakes as possible. Thank you so much. I'm going to use PVFA. What makes you think that PVFA is what we should use, and yet these cash flows are different? I thought these cash flows are fluctuating. Why do you tell me to use PVFA, somebody? Is there somebody here who is confused as I am? Oh, there is somebody saying there is an annuity word. I love that. There is an annual thing somewhere. Even depreciation itself, you got depreciation per annum. Fixed cost is fixed cost per annum. How I wish you never inboxed me. You should not inbox me here. Always put. I like what Sudhir is telling me. Always put things here so that everybody can see. So that everybody can see. Put things here. Put things here, live, for everybody to see. This ninja has told me that Mwalimu, the runs are independent of each other. That's a very good ninja. Perfect ninja. That this run and this run, they do not, they're independent. Actually, ideally, you are supposed to get NPV for run number 1 fully, and then you start looking for information for run number 2. So basically, you don't have these other NPVs. When I'm doing, in this case here, NPV for run number 1, I don't have these other cash flows. I only have one cash flow, which is 191.8 per annum, which will run for how many years? The project's life, which is what year? 5 years. So this 191.8 is alone when I'm getting NPV. This 191.8, I will close all this. I'll close my eyes. I'll not be able to see any other cash flow. When I'm getting NPV for run number 1, I'm only seeing one cash flow, which is 191.8, that I'll be able to enjoy every year for 5 years. So in that case, I'm going to use PV-FAR. PV-FAR. Are we together now, Suter and the team? Are we together now? You know what confuses students is students coming to look at all of this at once. It's supposed to be, when I'm getting NPV for the first run, it's only one cash flow that I have. And this one cash flow is an annual cash flow that I will receive now every year. For how many years? For 5 years. For 5 years. So I would want to get confirmation from you or ask questions before I continue. Before I continue. You know, there are students who will tell you use PV-FAR, but they don't know why. No, Suter. We can't say that we will be using PV-FAR in simulation. No, that will be a very, very bad assumption. It depends on what the examiner gives you, really. Because even if, for example, you wanted to use, if you wanted to use PV for 1, here, you wanted to use PV for 1. Please listen. If you wanted to use PV for 1 here. First of all, why are you getting confused with this PV? It's because you are taking all these cash flows, you're looking at all of them at once. And yet these are not years, these are runs. The year that we have is only 1 year. The first year, or rather the first run, is able to give me this 191.8 per watt year per annum. 191.8 per annum. For how many years? For 5 years. And again, they are indicating words. They're indicating words. If you look at, for example, number 1, they are telling us that the farm expects to incur fixed operating cost excluding depreciation of 30 million in each year. That tells you that this automatically is an annuity. Each year. If you look at depreciation, how you calculate depreciation? You took, in this case here, the cost which was 250 minus scrap value, which is 0. We divided this by the number of years. Who is this asking about years? Great. So in this case here, 5 years. Remember, the project has 5 years. We are told here that the project has got how many years? The project has got how many years? 5 years in paragraph number 2. And therefore, you're going to enjoy that 1.918 each year for 5 years. Now listen, my good students. Listen, my good students. So I'll come and take 191.8 here times PV-FAR. Then we ask ourselves, do we have any scrap value? Do we have any scrap value in this question? Do we have scrap value? Do we have scrap value? Nil, isn't it? 0. Scrap value is 0. Assuming it was there, I would want to put this because this has really been used by the examiner to confuse students. Assuming it was there, I would have taken the scrap times what here? PV. 5 years. And then I subtract what here? The initial outlay. So you see now, Soterio cannot say that you are going to be using PV, but scrap only comes to you at the project's useful life, only once. So scrap is always a lump sum. So scrap, you can only present value it using the PV, using the PVF. But you see, in this question, you don't have scrap. Scrap in this question is 0. The scrap in this question is 0. The scrap in this question is 0. So this component is not necessary really. So that will be 191.8 times this PVFA minus initial outlay. Now, please listen. What is the cost of capital given there? Remember, the formula of PVFA is 1 minus 1 plus R raised to negative n, everything to be divided by R. What is the cost of capital given? What is the cost of capital given in this question? Are they able to see the cost of capital? Why they are not talking to me now? Cost of capital given, 17%, isn't it? 17%, yes, 17%. So then this PVFA will be 1 minus 1 plus 0.17. Raised to the project's useful life, -5, all over that R, which is 0.17. So then is there somebody who can give me this PVFA, ladies and gentlemen? Anybody who is able to take a step of faith and give me this PVFA 4 decimal places? 4 decimal places. Give me this PVFA 4 decimal places. According to Yvonne Gishoy, 3.1993. 3.19. Is that correct? Is this correct? 3.1993. 3.1993. They're confirming it. They're confirming it. Now then, can you kindly do me a favor, please? Do me a favor, please. Are you able to give me NPVs, all NPVs? All NPVs, all NPVs, all NPVs. Is there somebody who is able to tell me all the NPVs here? I'll be able to steal a column in between and write net present value. So like the first net present value here will be this 191.8 times this 3.1993 minus initial outlay, which is 200 what here? Remember, initial outlay, the cost of the machine was 250. Remember, the cost of the machine was 250. The cost of the machine was 280. Are you able to remember this figure of 280? Are you able to remember this figure of 280, my good students? The cost of the machine is 280. The cost of the machine is 280. Great, thank you so much. So then are you able to give me the first net present value? Are you able to give me the first net present value? Is there somebody who can give me the first net present value? The first net present value is 333.63. Why now I'm alone? Why I'm alone? I'm alone. So please go to the second one. Now, many things will remain the same now. I mean, this is just about abracadabra now. So the next NPV, run 2 NPV. Run 2 NPV, it will be the cash flow, which is 20.3, which is an annuity, times the PVFA, which is the same, minus the initial outlay of 280. Minus the initial outlay of 280. So are you able to give me this figure? Are you able to give me this figure? According to Yvonne Gishoy, it is minus 215.05. Is there somebody who is able to see that minus 215? Someone else? Thank you very much, Ndiga. Minus 215.0. Then Linda asked me a very important question. Are you guys now able to give me all of them? The 10 answers. Is there somebody who can give me the 10 answers now? Now. All the NPVs. All the NPVs. Somebody who is able to provide me with all the net present values. Please read them for us. All of them now. All of them now. All of them now. All of them now. So now I'm waiting for the third one. What we shall do is to agree that you guys are going to get all the NPVs for the 10 runs, and then you come and they give me the total here. Give me the total here. Give me the total there. And then, of course, you'll come and they give me the average or expected or average net present value or average net present value. So this one here gives me, it's minus 136.64. minus 136.64. Now, in the interest of time, can we agree that you guys will be able to finish all these things later on? And compare your answers. So expected NPV will be this total, total NPV which will get there. And then you divide this by the number of runs, which are 10. Divided by the number of runs, which are 10. So can we make an agreement that you great students of mine will be able to finish all this yourselves? Yeah. Great. You can see already Yvonne has gotten actually all of them. Yvonne, this ninja called Yvonne has already gotten all of them. Now, with your permission, I'll be able to move pretty fast to what we call what here. Of course, I'll give you another question on this simulation, but before I do that, allow me to straight away look at what we call not simulation, but decision trees. Ametumia Excel, wow. Huyu sasa ameshapita BDA. Ameshapita BDA tayari. BDA needs you to be doing these things using Excel. Ulifanya jana, great. Maybe for their revision then, are you able to give them their expected NPV? For their revision, are you able to give them their expected NPV? Take the total NPV, you divide by 10. Total NPV, you divide by 10. Variable, 13.38 variable.